it going? Today I'm going to make a little video about, probably quite a long video, about my interpretation on the meaning of human sadness. Human sadness is, in case you don't know, an 11-minute song by the artist Julian Casablancas and the Voids. I made a video about the time that I met them, so if you want to go watch that, then the link will be in the description. I look like a reverse mushroom. Okay, this rainbow thing doesn't go with my lips right now. Human Sadness is actually the second single released off of Tyranny. So yeah, I'm basically going to be kind of giving you my interpretation of what I think it means, because it's very abstract. The lyrics themselves, most of them are very abstract, so I'm pretty sure he left it open-ended for a reason. There's not just one concise meaning for the whole thing. So the first thing that I kind of want to note on Julian Casablancas, he likes exploring the theme of corruption in the government. Definitely, obviously, the name of the album is Tyranny. All the songs in that album are carrying that message throughout, so that is one big theme. The way I see it, it's like lyrics about corruption, random lyrics about spirituality, and then again lyrics about corruption, lyrics about spirituality, and then just random cryptic lyrics that are very abstract. That's kind of how it's just layered. It's like strawberry, chocolate, vanilla. Chocolate, chocolate, strawberry, vanilla. So the top themes that I kind of see in the whole thing that kind of repeat, that I just try to describe, are tyranny, spiritual advice, and just advice in general, and depression. So let's start from the top. I see, for example, just the first sentence. Put money in my hand and I will do the things you want me to. Goes both ways. Goes for like prostitute and people who are not thinking. That's the first thing they're gonna think. But obviously this album is called Tyranny, so it's corrupted government. If you look through the whole lyrics, there's lots of other examples very similar to that one on corrupt government, such as come here, sit there, shut down and tune in tonight. That one too. Come here, sit down and watch some TV. That one too. There's one theme. And then there's the theme of advice, and that is basically the chorus that is repeated thousands of times in this song. And the whole quote is, I have to go get my phone. The whole quote is, out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there, where the soul lies down in that grass. The world is too full to talk about. Ideas, language, even the phrase each other doesn't make any sense. 13th century. So yeah, like if you don't know exactly what he's talking about, you kind of have a sense of how spiritual that sounds, but it is very spiritual. It's basically saying letting go of your ego, letting go of all labeling, letting go of, oh, that's ugly, that's pretty, that's black, that's white, that's good, that's bad, like that doesn't exist. In reality, that's what it's saying. It's like in reality, everything is one. And we're all a part of that one thing, and I don't really know how else to explain that. And okay. So yeah, that's kind of what it's saying with that quote. Very spiritual and very helpful. If you go in and try to really kind of see what it means, it does help you. And we have seen in the past Julian trying to help us with phrases for the young and giving us all of that advice. So this is like another advice, but much more abstract, just like the rest of the song. That's what that means. But I feel like if people are taking it more just on the surface and talking about death, and there are kind of themes of death, like cryptic, abstract kind of lyrics in here. I did hear, I'm not sure how true this is, that Julian started writing the demo, like demo of the song, around the time that his father died, his biological dad, in 2010. I understand how how that Rumi quote could have been taken through the interpretation of death, but it was meant to be taken through the interpretation of spirituality and letting go of the bad things, basically enlightenment. Other big themes of death are obviously in the part where he says fuck depression. He's just like, through suicide. This is not I didn't come up with this. I read it right after Human Science was released. Someone wrote this big explanation of what they thought it was, and this is just basically me trying to communicate what I read a long time ago, but it was not my idea. This is not an original idea. I don't even know where they got it from. I think it might have been from Tumblr, so I don't know who to cite for this. But they said that it was basically the 7 or 8 stages of depression, and the last being like attempt to suicide or something like that. If you think about it, like people who have gone through depression, it's an intense emotion. And a lot of the parts of the song sound like intense emotions feel. It's just like explosions and but in like a beautiful way. Like it's amazing. This song is so cool. So it makes sense, not only lyrically, but also that's what the song sounds like. It sounds like emotions, like intense emotions, maybe someone under depression. And also, throughout the whole song, it's like if the narrator who's speaking is talking to someone else, and it gives you the impression that maybe they're talking to themselves. And it gives me the impression. There's this part that is repeated a couple of times throughout the song that's like, I don't want to fix your tie. And the same person from Tumblr, I think, said that means like the noose for suicide. And it makes sense. If you're going through that interpretation, I don't know how else to interpret it. That made sense to me. I also see the whole thing of depression when it says it's all my fault, kind of telling yourself that it's your fault. But then again, it's like, I feel like if what Julian is trying to do is giving you a problem to relate to, like when you say it's your fault, when you feel guilty, when you feel sad, to relate to it. But then he's also giving you a solution with the chorus, with the thing that keeps on being repeated over and over and over. Beyond all ideas of right or wrong, there is a field, I will be meeting you there. That doesn't just mean death. It means life is much more than we make it seem. Life is much bigger than we make it seem. Not everything is good and bad. Not everything is you're ugly, you're pretty. Not everything is the materialistic part. Life is much more beautiful. And if you want to stop feeling these bad feelings, you need to get rid of those concepts and those labels. And that's, it's like question and answer. It's like, relate to this. Well, this is what you have to do to feel better. I think that's what it means. Because again, this is just my interpretation of it. So that is how the advice mixes in with the depression and the death, kind of how to fix that. It's an advice on how to fix if you want to, if you accept it. That's kind of, I don't know, like I'm wondering why this quote, why that snippet of this quote, and why mixing it with all these other themes. So apart from all of the abstract lyrics and that Rumi quote, there's an important part that I feel that Julian's trying to tell us something, and that's the part where he says, I'm reading off something. It says, understanding is more important than love. If not, money will always triumph justice. You hear the word money and you think, oh, this is just talking about corruption again. Okay. We already found out what ties together the depression theme and what ties together the spiritual theme. But we haven't figured out what ties together the tyranny theme and the spiritual theme. But in my opinion, that quote ties it together because it's talking about basically controlling your feelings, controlling your emotions. Don't be someone who lets themselves go completely based on what they feel, administrating your feelings, which ties back to the Rumi quote, because understanding is more important than love. if you just think about that lightly, it doesn't make sense. You're like, love is very important. But understanding is more important than love. Administrating your feelings is very important. You can't let your feelings administrate you. You know what I mean? If not, money will always triumph justice, which might be what is happening right now, because people are very into the media, letting the media put unimportant things in the top priority of people's minds, and that might be an issue, and that is what I kind of see with this. To me, that's what it addresses. A lot of times there's like pretty important things in mainstream media, like the weather, or like, you know, that affect you, but what they're not really trying to put genuinely important things into your life. They're trying to put very superficial things into your life that you actually don't need. Okay, so quickly, I'm gonna start recommending songs. So if you have the chance, you can listen to them, because I feel very strongly about a lot of songs that I think everyone should listen to. So to start off, I want to recommend Love Fool by the Cardigans. It's a really cute pop song, so if you have the chance, check it out. Alright, that's what I think human sadness means. My camera's about to turn off, so if I don't say bye, I'm sorry. Please subscribe if you like this video, and give it a thumbs up. I will be making a video on what I think the human sadness music video means, and it's probably gonna be already up by the time you're watching, so it's gonna be down in the link in the description. So yeah, have a good one. Thanks for watching. You're awesome.